Hey guys, what's up? It's Big Money Otaku here today to talk to you about a theory that I have for One Piece concerning the Hawaiian and Polynesian people. So to start things off, my theory is broken up into three parts for convenience, and it's done in order of most likely. The first connection between the Hawaiian people and One Piece is that of Admiral Akainu. This one actually is pretty obvious. Everything about the man, screams Hawaiian. He's got a Hawaiian shirt, a flower that kind of resembles a Hawaiian lei. And his magma devil fruit powers also are very indicative of the infamous volcanoes on Hawaii. Now, to take this a little bit deeper though, past what many people have already kind of observed, is when you look at the Hawaiian motto, and I'm gonna butcher this, so forgive me, U Mau Ki I A Ko Ani Ka Pono. This state motto actually roughly translates into the life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness. Now, when I first heard that, because I was actually researching this theory for a while, that what immediately sparked into my mind is Akainu's idea of absolute justice, right? They're both kind of ideas that put one attribute above all else. In the case of Akainu, it's justice. In the case of the Hawaiian state motto, it's righteousness. Now, to bring this back to One Piece, it seems pretty likely when you consider the fact that Akainu's wearing a Hawaiian shirt, Hawaiian flower, and has magma powers, that Hawaii was on Oda's mind when he was making the character. Therefore, it doesn't seem too unlikely or unreasonable that he was using the Hawaiian state motto when he came up with Akainu's idea of absolute justice. The second part of my theory connecting the Polynesian and Hawaiian people and the people and events of One Piece is the character of Jinbe and the famous Hawaiian singer Israel Kamakawiwo. He's most known for his cover of Over the Rainbow, and by the way, if you haven't heard that song, a link will be in the description. It's a fantastic song. Anyway, beyond the obvious visual connection between the two people, again, both very fat, no neck, thick curly black hair, the overall body shape, Israel is famous for fighting for Hawaiian rights and independence from what Israel viewed as a colonial and racist attempt to subjugate the indigenous Hawaiian people by the United States. This very much parallels Jinbe's struggle with the world government and their attempt to subjugate Fishman Island and their racist attitude towards the Fishman race. To take this one step further, you can actually look at the lyrics of Israel's most famous song, Over the Rainbow, and actually interpret them from Jinbe's perspective. And if you do that, you get someone who's singing about a mythical land that's way up high and where everyone is happy. This seems to strongly parallel Jinbe's wish to return Fishman Island to the surface of the ocean and to get rid of the tensions and racism between humans, the world government, and Fishman Island. He just, at the end of the day, he wants everyone to live in peace. So now, if you're keeping track, we have two people that are both visually and emotionally inspired by real Polynesian people and real Polynesian places. And here's where the theory gets really interesting in its third part. But first, I have to give you some facts about the Polynesian people, because I'm assuming that you guys don't study history. Basically, the Polynesian people came out of Southeast Asia right around 2000 BCE, and slowly began to spread across from island to island, all the way to Easter Island. This includes Western Samoa, New Zealand, Hawaii, most of the Line Islands, and some people even theorize to the very coast of South America. Now, what's crazy about this is they did this in little tiny canoes. They did it without compasses, without sextants, without charts. And they did this centuries before the European nations were even thinking about crossing the comparatively much smaller Atlantic Ocean. Now, how they did this is up for debate, and it's somewhat a mystery. In addition to this, the Polynesian cultures are filled with myths of brave explorers finding, vast new lands. This is likely because of the realities of island living. You have very limited arable land and very limited resources. This brings us back to One Piece and the correlation between the Polynesian people and the Skypians, in particular the Shandians. Now, the Shandians very much resemble the indigenous Hawaiian and indigenous Polynesian people in their dress. They both have grass skirts, tattoos, use spears. This is by no means an accident. In addition to that, the canoes the Polynesians used to explore the Pacific Ocean very much resemble the wave runners that the Skypians use. So obviously there's a visual and stylistic connection that, Oda borrowed on. And to bring this one step further, many theorists in the One Piece community who are familiar with Inu's cover story and the events of Skypiea theorize that the inhabitants of Skypiea are actually descendants of the people of the ancient kingdom. Now, I'm not going to go into this theory in too much detail because it's been delved in by many theorists in the One Piece community over the course of the years. I will, however, link a link to one of Tekken's videos in the description that explains this very well if you're not familiar with it. Anyway, this Polynesian connection actually strengthens this theory for two reasons. Firstly, when you consider the histories of the Polynesian people and the history of the ancient kingdom, you'll find in both instances they performed incredible acts and relied on technologies that and techniques that no one really knows how work today. For example, the Polynesians were able to sail across the entirety of the Pacific Ocean, and we still don't know how they did that. And the Skypians were able to make it from the moon to the Earth and back. And again, that's nuts. We don't know how they did it. And the second reason is both the Polynesian people in the ancient kingdom had their histories and their cultures virtually destroyed by outside forces. In the Polynesians' case, this would be the Western powers, France, Germany, the US. And in the ancient kingdom's case, this is the world government. And probably in both instances, it was to subjugate and control. And when you consider the totality of this, the fact that Oda obviously has drawn parallels both visually and thematically from the Hawaiian Islands to a famous Hawaiian singer to the histories of the Polynesian people, it seems pretty clear that the Polynesian people have very much had a large influence on One Piece, and that studying their cultures and studying their myths might yield further insights into the One Piece world. And with that, guys, it's Big Money Otaku 9000 signing out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.